Michael Maledon. I'm currently the president of Elway Powersports, and I'm a partner in the Elway Dealer Group. Been with the Elway Dealer Group now for about 7 years. Prior to that, I was with another very large automotive group, the Van Tile Group, which was sold to Berkshire Hathaway. So that group had consolidated and acquired and consolidated about 100 automotive dealerships, and we sold that to Berkshire. And then I went and partnered with the Elway Group. So we got into power sports about a little over a year and a half ago, and that's really my focus right now. So we're still wanting to grow in automotive, but really focused right now on the power sports stuff.
And my name is Greg Ditus, and I'm the GM of Interstate Honda. I've been with the group since its inception, or as far as Interstate Honda was Loveland Motorsports in 1991. It's always been a single line Honda dealer, and I've been with the group ever since. We've gone through 3 ownership changes, and by far this has been the best exchange.
Well, that's what I want to talk about today. The Elway Group is a powerhouse in the automotive industry. I saw he was on the cover of the Auto Trade magazines and all of that. But the transition for the Elway Powersports Group specifically, that's pretty recent development, isn't it?
It is, yeah. We like I said, we are looking to continue to grow in automotive, but it's been a kind of a crazy market post-COVID with product shortages and just a lot of different variables. So we actually started looking at power sports pre-COVID. There was one that kind of came across our desk that we looked at real closely. We wound up not buying that one, but just really got interested in power sports. And then when the NOCO came up in northern Colorado, kind of a small store, a medium-sized store, I guess you'd call it. And we decided we'd go ahead and acquire that first one because we've got a presence in Colorado, and had really pleased with that acquisition. Had got some terrific people there and some great brands. And then Greg's store, the Honda store, came available right after that, so we bought that one. And then really Greg's sitting at the store. That's our 5th acquisition that we just closed earlier in December. And yeah, we've got a big appetite for power sports right now.
And that store is Laramie, that used to be T&T?
Correct.
And that was a regional powerhouse and big in the sled side of things, and a well-respected dealership. So it seems like you're picking some really good starting points with these stores that you've acquired.
I couldn't be happier. Yeah, I think all 5 stores have just been tremendous acquisitions, with great products, great brands, and most importantly, great people.
And one of your recent acquisitions was also one of our cover dealers, was Star City, or Star in Lincoln there.
Yep, Star City.
And that's, cover dealer, multi-time top 100 winner, great dealership. Great dealer principal who decided that he needed to go climb some mountains and stuff. But I think that's a good transition to where you guys are going with those kind of base layers. Yeah,
no, it was great to get to know Robert. What a neat guy. And you really, the staff that he built there, I think he just, he's a people person and an enthusiast, and really put together a great staff there. And we're real pleased with that store.
So, Greg, this isn't your first rodeo. You're going on 35 years in this business. What's it like seeing the car guys come in? Are you learning lots, or are you learning a few things?
We're learning a tremendous amount. I was a little skeptical at first, but as I've told Michael, this group is amazing. How they work together, how they support each other. Our first partners meeting, it was a round table with a bunch of GMs, and everybody was so polite. And they didn't talk over each other. Nobody pounded their chests. I've been to multiple, 20 groups and other types of meeting with other motorcycle dealers that just want to bury each other. It was very eye-opening. And from then on out, it's the support and how they want us to, operate has just been amazing.
And that behind the scenes information, that's the kind of thing that you can only get from a 20 group, even with its flaws, or being part of a family of dealerships that has this outside expertise.
True. And like I said, right now, we're almost like developing our own 20 group. We talk very, openly. Our principals are very much group oriented. What's good for the group, so separate stores, are working well together. No animosity, I should say.
Well, and you guys had that leadership meeting the same time we were having the Honda press intro for the Pioneer 6 and axe twirling, but no axes buried in the backs. It was all forward facing on target.
Oh yeah, everything was good.
You got to trust guys if you're going to turn them loose in a room with axes.
Yeah.
It was fun. I mean, it was a great experience. Would have been nice to know that Honda was just right across the river. We could have had a nice little John over there and experience that new 6-seater.
Pretty good. And I think for the store you're in there in Laramie, that's the kind of dealership that they were looking at when they targeted that vehicle.
I would agree.
Michael, your background's actually legal, and then you've made the transition into power sports.
Yeah. So I went to college for business and finance, and then I practiced law for a few years, all on the business side. So I was representing, big public companies, private equity firms that were doing acquisitions. So really my focus was on acquisitions and finance. And so I got recruited to go to work for the Van Tile Group, which was doing acquisitions on the automotive side. So I was there for about 10 years. And like I said, we got up to about 100 rooftops before it was sold. So, but even then I was, on the legal stuff, I would oversee, but I'm farming that out to specialists, employment specialists and the like, but it's, the acquisition side that I really enjoy. And, now, since I've been partnered with the Elway Group, I've gotten quite into the operations on the automotive side. I ran our Jeep store for a little while. I think the nice thing coming into power sports, kind of like Greg said, is, there's not a whole lot of egos in the room. I think, we're proud of what we've accomplished on the automotive side. We've got some high performing automotive dealerships, but I think we also remain humble. And I think that really helps us when we got into power sports, because there's certain things that we just didn't know. I mean, there's ideas that we thought would work in power sports, but I think, with the leaders that we picked up with Greg and at his store and the management team at the other dealerships, just a great group of people that, we bounce ideas off, and we're learning as much from them as I think that we're, giving them knowledge. And so it's it's been a real nice experience with a great group of people.
And that goes against the stereotype that we in the power sports industry have of the evil automotive empire coming in and telling us how we're going to run things. It seems like you've got the ratio down, 2 ears and 1 mouth, and you're using them according to that ratio. So that is awesome to see. You've got quite a culture within that Elway Group, though. The mission statement and all of that started with the automotive side, but it translates well into the the power sports family, I think.
I think we try to be very progressive in terms of being very customer centric. Our Toyota store was one of the first one price Toyota stores, actually one of the one price no haggle dealerships in the country, and rose to, I think, a couple of years ago we were fourth volume dealership in the country. So, it proves that it works, being transparent to your customers, no haggle, and it works. But, when you put John Elway's name on the building, you've got a reputation to stand behind and hold up. And so I think all of the employees kind of come in understanding that, that's the culture. I mean, sometimes I think we know that we're leaving money on the table that more aggressive dealerships might be going after. But for us, it's not about grabbing the last dollar. It's about creating customers for life and happy employees. I think that's our recipe for success. And it's worked really well for, Mr. Elway and his partners. And, it's working well in our power sports group.
And Greg, a year ago, Who would have thought that you'd be in a private jet with John Elway as part of this family of dealerships?
You're so true, sir. The way that Michael's kind of uplifting the team and developing it and showing us a bunch of different things that maybe we didn't ever think that was, possible as far as what our skill sets were. He's really good about, seeking out and finding what we're good at and helping the rest of the team. And you're right, getting on a plane with John Elway, never would have thought in a million years that would happen. And it's been really great to talk about to our other fellow dealers in Colorado, what's going on, and they're actually really excited.
Have you had a chance to go riding with him yet?
Not yet, sir.
That's the next thing. And Michael, your personal journey, are you picking up this power sports bug? Are you riding sleds, motorcycles, any of this stuff?
I am, yeah, with Greg as my mentor. He took me on one of my first long rides, but yeah, I got my first bike. I do a lot of outdoor activities. Yeah, I used to ride when I was real young, and I'm really big into road biking and mountain biking and skiing. But for on-road motorcycling, I mean, that was new for me. So I got my first bike a year ago. Like I said, Greg took me for a ride. I think it was in January, right, Greg?
February, but yeah, it was a great ride.
Nice and cold. But no, I've got a couple in my garage now, and we just went sledding a couple weeks ago, and boy, that was a lot of fun. Last time I'd been on a snowmobile was probably a decade ago, and these new ones have just so much tremendous power. So it is definitely it's been fun playing with the toys.
As Greg and I have joked about it, that's why we stick with this business, because the toys and the people are the best in the world.
Absolutely.
These customers, everyone you come in contact with, just ask them to start talking about themselves and hearing their stories. And the one place that I think I've found with customers, it's the one area you can always go to feel like you're the coolest person in the world. You go to a motorcycle shop, and when I was growing up, I dealt with a few motorcycle shops that were very racer oriented, and they're very intimidating to go into. And I always said, if I had the control, that I would make sure that every person that comes in the door has that feeling of being number one. And so just getting people to start talking about themselves, ask them out what bike they have, and commenting how cool of a bike it is. And you just watch them grow 2 inches right there. And then they just want to keep coming back for that feeling, get fed. So Saturdays are hanging out, it's a destination to go to. And that's always been my idea about motorcycle, or power sports dealerships. It's that one area you can just feel like you're the king.
Absolutely. Philosophically, where do we go from here? Is the Elway Group asking you to look at the EV market or some of these adjacent markets in your traditional dealership?
Yeah, I mean, we're continuing to look at power sports and other acquisition opportunities. We're also looking at automotive and those opportunities. I think with automotive, there's so much change that's happening. Like Cadillac has announced they're going all EV in 2025. I mean, you've heard a lot of, so I think with automotive dealerships, it's there's going to be a lot that's going to change. And again, we're bullish on the industry, but it's a little bit harder to figure out who's going to win. With all these other new EV entrants coming in. I think power sports, I think it'll be a little slower adoption for some of that, but there are some very exciting new products coming into to the power sports space as well. But in the short term, I think we're just, I think most what we're hearing in 2023 might be, a little bit of a slowdown and maybe, getting inventory back to levels that we're used to pre-COVID. And so that, presents new challenges for us that we haven't had to deal with in the last 2-3 years. But I think with that will come some additional opportunities, and we're looking at, we love the markets that we're in right now, and in the Rocky Mountains, and Nebraska's been a great market, but we'll continue to look in those markets and beyond as opportunities arise.